All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Um, if you can, I guess give me a thumbs up. Cool. I guess we'll get started. Um, First of all, Forge updates. So I'm pretty sure everyone's aware of all the hold on one second. Of all the activity going on Forge, and we're happy to announce that the Revert Finance, the tool that helps with V3 liquidity management, is live on mainnet, on Evmos mainnet. So anyone that's using Forge or has a position in Forge, you can go to revert.finance and find some pretty cool analytics about your position. And that is live now. Um, Next thing, or at any point, if anyone has a question, feel free to raise your hand. Um, there's also the community Q&A section on Discord as well as a governance chat. Um, so yeah, feel free to ask questions there as well. Um, yeah, anyways, moving on. So Revert Finance is now live on Evmos mainnet, which means the liquidity incentive program uh, can start and will start soon as planned. Um, I believe it will begin early next week. Let me confirm that one last time, but that's my understanding as of now.
That's correct.
Um,
Working on an announcement, so I should see something today.
cool, cool. Yeah, so uh, pretty excited about the Inferno liquidity program. Um, it's different from the other liquidity programs that we've hosted in the past, in that there's like I guess, a vesting period, so people don't just hop around pools and try to just pool hop into whatever is offering the highest APR. Um, so yeah, that's one benefit of the Revert Finance's um V3 staking tool, which is also live on Evmos. So as Benny said, you could expect update on that pretty soon. Um, so right now on Commonwealth, there's two topics of interest that I think everyone should be looking at. The first one is the extension of the SpaceFi incentive program. For those that are not familiar with SpaceFi, um, they are their first round of incentive program is ongoing, and I believe they are due for um, a renewal soon if the community chooses to pass it. Um, so I'm getting a message from Alan from SpaceFi that at the moment they're taking current feedback from the community and they're going to um, possibly, I guess, change some portions of the proposal and discuss it in the next meeting. So I guess we'll talk about SpaceFi next week. Um, Another topic on Commonwealth is a proposal to build a decentralized derivatives exchange with an aggregator. Um, if by any chance the poster is in the audience, please raise your hand. I believe his name is Aaron. Okay, well, We'll post all the links to all the discussions after the space. Um, personally, uh, what I'm thinking is it would be better for them to go through the encode grants route because I don't gives more, I guess. So encode grants program is something we funded a while back, and I think it's something that the community isn't utilizing to the fullest potential because they do provide like tools and mentorship that you wouldn't be able to get if you were to build something on your own. And not only that, yeah, it gives accountability to the teams, and I think the community will be a lot more, at peace with knowing that it's going through a program and not just, releasing funds to a relatively unknown team uh, in terms of, our community. Um, yeah, if anyone has thoughts or questions, Crypto Cipher, I know you just requested to speak. Did you have anything to add?
Hello, this is Aaron, but I'm outside at the moment. I will be back home like in 15 minutes. Is it possible to speak at that time, or is I'm missing this
Yes,
opportunity?
sure, sure. Yeah,
Okay, sure.
15 minutes would be okay, yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll be speak later. Thank you.
Okay. Um, actually, I guess even though Spacefy might not be here at the moment, um, I guess it's still worth discussing a little bit. Um, so what they proposed, or Proposal 109, which was their first I guess round of the incentive program. Um, they use they use a novel module called Evmos, which pretty much I guess try to lock liquidity in longer by bonding liquidity bonding. Um, hmm, does anyone have anything to add regarding Spaceflight program? Like their your experience or your thoughts on how it could be run better, or you know any thoughts? Feel free to raise your hand.
I think in general, the SpaceFi first incentive program was pretty successful. SpaceFi has been doing well and has really succeeded with the Z-Sync era um, launch from that side. So I think it makes sense to do another round of incentives, but the amount to spend or the different pools are, I think, still needing a lot of community discussion. Um, Also, there's a handful of issues that have kind of happened during that first round that have been brought up by the community and is currently being discussed in the Commonwealth Post. So I know some community members are asking SpaceFi to solve some of those problems prior to the next incentives round starting. So in general, I think it's a good idea to do another round of incentives for SpaceFi, but there's a handful of different things that need to be ironed out before with the proposal and some of the other issues before going on chain, in my opinion. So that
Yeah,
definitely recommend hopping into that Commonwealth thread because it's a pretty active thread and there's a lot of good discussions happening in there.
yeah, I totally agree. They've shown, their willingness to, I guess, show innovation and, you know, kind of not do things the easy way, but um, yeah, overall, I think personally, I think their first round was very successful, and I would like to see a second round. But there has been some feedback, and Spacefy is aware of the feedback that has been provided on Commonwealth, and I'm sure next week they'll be happy to speak more on their revised proposal.
Another thing that I think is super good about SpaceFi in general is that they're a validator on Evmos, so they have a lot of interest in succeeding and pushing Evmos in general and progressing their decks and their products. So um, I think they're a good team and a good project to um, to support, and compared to maybe like a outside team that doesn't really have much experience in Evmos, and maybe they don't um, care as much as somebody like SpaceFi. So it's super cool to see them doing so well and continuing to build and progress.
Absolutely, and I think as a community we should embrace, any protocol that is um, not only helping with TVL but with like growing the user base, the community, um, and have shown that they are well intentioned. Um, yeah. Before we move on to our next topic, which is the ongoing hackathons and grants, does anyone have anything that? Oh, okay, Lewis, I will invite you up. Hey, Lewis, how you doing?
Hello, everyone. Just wanted to. I asked this before, but I wanted to ask again because, well, at least for me, it's like an ongoing issue or unsolved issue for me is the topic about the moderators. And I was thinking maybe it would be a good idea to consider only like removing the burden of having I don't recall who was the mod that had like had missing payments, but removing that or maybe just doing that proposal about that and then doing a different proposal about the rest of the moderating team just to streamline it or make it more transparent to the community. Or have you discussed this, or what are your thoughts on this?
So are you saying, just so I can understand it correctly, to two separate proposals, one for funding that work stream and then another for solving the
Yeah,
retro pay issue?
exactly. Yeah, that way the work stream is a significantly smaller proposal and solving the other issue, which is the back pay or retroactive pay of the other month.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good suggestion. Um, it's kind of that topic is kind of in terms of a second proposal for funding that work stream is kind of on the top of our minds, and I know it's a pressing issue. It did get kind of put in the backlog to focus on like building deeper liquidity
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
and stuff like that. But since now that our governance workstream has expanded, we have a little bit more capacity. So I think that moves the priority of this next proposal up the ladder some. So I think that's a good suggestion, and I think we'll have to sync with. I know Kilo's on
Yeah.
out of town or on vacation or something. So sync with them, the mod group, and I think we should definitely start moving in the direction of getting that work stream
And maybe
funded.
some moderators would step off or or be paid? Like reducing the team size might have to be an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, we have logged like all of the relevant feedback from the first proposal, which was a little while ago now. So I think we kind of have an idea of some of the changes that need to be made. It's just about making sure it gets proposed at the right time. So thanks for actually bringing that up and refreshing the community. And yeah, I think it's kind of more in the near term than the far term. That's for sure.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, Louis, for coming up. I guess before we move on, kind of want to share some statistics about Forge. So, without any incentives, the community owned decks managed to get TVL of around $350,000, and our total volume to date is about to cross $1.5 million dollars. So I think that just speaks to the volume of just launching something that's community owned, and even without incentive programs, like the numbers, they're not huge, but it's not insignificant. So yeah, really looking forward to the Inferno program starting. That should really give it a kickstart.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything to add before we move on?
Yeah, while we wait for Aaron to get back home, I think a couple other things about Forge worth bringing up is the only outstanding thing from the first proposal for funding the Forge is the Kepler integration. So we are working closely with the Kepler team. The current roadblock is their support for ETH sign type. So they're trying to launch their second version of their extension, and those ETH sign type isn't planned to be included with the initial launch. So as soon as they support that, we'll be able to move quickly on fully integrating Kepler, which is Forge's top priority as soon as we can implement it. So that's outstanding. And then the other thing we're working on is creating a list of upgrades to Forge for like a second version. So if anyone has ideas, please share. And we're compiling this list, and then we'll be deciding whether or not it should be pushed for funding through Encode grants, or if it should be through community pool spending. Personally, I like the idea of doing a proposal and doing the community pool spend, given that Forge is completely community owned and completely community managed. Then I think it's good to have the community be able to weigh in on the features that we're wanting to add and provide feedback, and maybe come up with new ideas, and then decide whether or not whether to fund it or not. Whereas if going through Encode, it kind of leaves the community out of some of these decision-making processes. So I think we'll probably have more info on that in like the next week or two.
Yeah, I think you brought up a great point that we want to remind everyone that Forge, is owned by the community. So, anyone and everyone is welcome to, chip in, whether it's ideas or through, pull requests on GitHub. Yeah. I don't want people to get like the sense of feeling that it's the DAO and the Orbital Apes project. It should be more of a community project. So yeah, we welcome. We're pretty welcoming, I guess, to outside collaborators. So keep that in mind, please. Yeah.
I think another cool thing about what you just mentioned is, like we're working on setting up a bounty system where, for like feature requests or different things where builders within the community can, grab these bounties and contribute to different features that, are looking to be added, or maybe it's bounty to, do a pull request for new token get added or anything. Or even educational stuff. I think there's a lot of opportunity to get the community active in the development. So I'm super excited about that. But I'm not sure, Alan, you're still on stage. If you're back.
Hello, I just back. Sorry, I was on the trip, but just back home, so I'm able to speak right now.
Okay. So you want to remind everybody about your Commonwealth post
yeah,
and kind of let us know what
yeah,
you're working on?
yeah. My name is Aaron, and I am the member for the community member for Evmos since it launched. So I've been know the Evmos up and down and all the history about hackathon and the grant and everything. And so far we haven't seen any like viable like DeFi tools that has been built on the Elmos, and I was asked question about why there is no one, and I just then like 1 month ago or a few months ago, I speak to a few developers that I close to, which they work with the big Web3 companies. One is, the Patrick that's work for Steppens, and their market cap has top like 100 or something. I forgot right now. So he said, yeah, why not? Why not build any DeFi tools that the community has gathered. So we have done some extensive research that we now have DEX, 2 DEX, but we don't have any DeFis apart from DEX, right? So I heard from the community that we need perpetual exchanges. And I then asked to discuss with the developers, say, if we can we do perpetual exchanges with anything that are sources that are available on the Elmos right now? And they say, yeah, why not? And what else? Elmos is shortcut. I then look at the original idea was launching an DEX plus derivative exchanges plus a launchpad, but community seems against with it. So we think that there's already two DEXs, and we are missing on aggregators. So that's why we changed from the DEX to an aggregator, so people can trade painlessly on one page instead of go to different DEXs to trade. And regarding the budget, that I really discussed with them, and they say we need at least 3 to 4 developers on this project, and we need one designers to make up all the user interface stuff. And we have calculate on the cost, and this he said at least on the developer side it's about 1500K, and we need after that, before we go on mainnet, we need about 50K for the audit. That I personally talked to audit company in London. He said if you have if your source code is about 100 page, it's about that price. If your source code is less than 220 page, it's about few thousand. So we estimate it's about 50K on the audit side. And so yeah, I understand that you asking why you not joining the grant. That's why, because the developing cost is if we join the grant, the developing cost won't cover the grant price won't cover the developing cost. That's it. And we can't cover the audit cost. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. Any questions?
Can you give us a quick overview about just your proposal in general, what you're looking to build, and the timeline?
Yeah, we are looking to build a derivative exchange that people can users can long and short on the Evmos chain. And what do you mean by what do you want to build? Sorry.
Like just an overview of what is in your proposal, some of the milestones.
Okay. So the
Just the
milestones,
content.
like so milestone based, we expect to launch a local MVP that users can see and feel the MVPs within 1.5 months, so about 5 weeks. Then we will show it to the community, see if they what function is missing and what function is community is not satisfied with. So we will improve it, and then after community approve it, and we will start to develop smart contracts, backend, front end, and implement some user interface. We will then deploy it. We expect 3 to 4 months to deploy it on the testnet, and then we will have about one month for users to test it and debug it, and at the same time we will submit our source code to the audit company for them to do the audit. And after everything is confirmed from the community and audit company, we will then deploy the product to the mainnet. So I don't think there will be a big risk to the community, because I think you say there is unknown that unknown teams is doing this, and you don't trust the if we can deliver it. But the thing is, we only request 10 to 15% to kickstart this project, and after we deliver local MVP, you will release another 15%. Then after we deployed the product on the testnet, you will then release the funds. So the risk is really minimal to the community. So I don't think there is a big risk overall.
Yeah, I'm looking at the proposal now, and I think one thing that the community might be concerned about is the immediate release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because immediate release is requested for them to kickstart the project, because they need they have their full-time job, and if I can't release some funds to them, they will just do do this as a side job, a side project, and not pay 100% attention to this project.
Right.
So
So, can you
yeah,
actually give a little background about yourself? Because it seems like you're approaching this from like a project manager, I guess, role. Is that
yes.
correct?
Yes. I've been working as a project manager and account manager for animation company for the past 5 years, and the company was acquired by Apple in 2 years ago, actually. So I'm now fully all in on Web3 at the moment. So so I work as a derivative trader personally at the moment as full-time job for myself. So I do trade every single days for myself. So I understand how derivative trade is difficult to implement. Yeah, that's it.
Right. And personally, one concern I have right now also is I think it's too early to, I guess, propose, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, tokenomics. Because personally, I believe that tokenomics should be very well planned, or it could, regardless of how good or bad the project is, tokenomics can affect the project in the long term, in a significant way. So,
Yeah, this is our initial plan to for the it's a rough that we will do this because we think that put something for testnet incentives um, is a good idea for users that outside Evmos to come to Evmos through task engagement platforms like Galaxy, Zili, Rapid, Layer 3 that I was all personally has been experienced them and think they are work very well to attract more outsiders into come to Elmos and to personally test it, experience it, and if they like it, they might pull some funds come to our project. And this is our initial thought, and can be changed while implementing, actually working on the project. And if the community has any concerns or any ideas, you can tell us, and we can improve it based on your suggestions. That's it.
Curious, if you don't end up getting the grant, what will you end up doing with the project?
So if we don't under the grant, what will I do the project?
Yeah, will you continue working on the project? Will you go to a different ecosystem? What would sort of the game plan be if you don't get the grant?
For myself, I can do that. I can do everything that if I can code, if I can like do marketing, if I can do everything, yes, I can do for free, actually. But developers can't do that. That's just I can't push them to work for free. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I guess just to clarify there, so like would the project just would not move forward without a grant? Okay.
I can try to push them to like build an local MVP, not on the testnet and or the mainnet, but local MVP. That's what maximum that I can ask them to build.
Of course, and I'm not saying to build for free, but I was just curious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can ask them to the maximum power that I can give them. I can push them to do as a local MVP that many some static static web pages that demonstrate that what this exchange can do and how this exchange will function. But over that, I can't. I don't have that power. Sorry. We are friends,
Yeah.
but I'm not their like boss or something that I can't push them to like work for free for this
Right,
project.
right. And I
Yeah.
don't think anyone expects any project to work for free.
Yeah.
But I do encourage you to not rush this proposal. Because the more you rush it, the higher chances of it getting rejected. So I really
Yeah.
encourage you to take your time with this proposal and make sure you get the community, sentiment on your side. And in the
Yeah.
meanwhile, even if the ENCODE grants, even if the allocations can't cover all your funds, I still don't see why you can't apply to get the initial funds. And once the community sees that, sees the
Because
progress, then the community pool could actually, deploy more funds.
Or a second
actually,
round of grants through Encode as well.
Yeah.
yeah. But the
So
grants
we
will
could
pay.
approach both routes.
You trust me to apply the grants as well, right?
Right. So that would, I guess, secure the first round of funding for your developers, and depending on how the grant goes, then the community will be more than, more comfortable with moving forward with a larger spending proposal. That's my
But
personal thoughts.
I mean, of course, that it's up to you, right? How you want to approach it. I think the overarching message is to be open to community suggestions and to consider all options, even if you know if you're currently thinking code grants wouldn't work. Well, maybe there's a way where it does. Just to be open to thinking outside
but
the box or
Right. We're trying to help you.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. Can I ask, how do they pay the grants? Like, if the project has won the grants, because I understand that they are paying on the milestone based, right? And I see that the result will be 2 months later from now, and within these 2 months,
Right. But
what can I do to
so
push them?
so
Like,
if the community proposal, if you choose to, put it on chain and it gets rejected, then um, it'll take longer than 2 months to do like a new proposal and stuff. So I'm just offering my personal opinion of
yeah, understand.
how you can best succeed with this initiative. And in my personal opinion, it would be to first at least apply and see what they say. See what kind of you know grant that you get offered, and it's totally up to you whether to move forward and take the grant and then do another community proposal later when the exchange is looking more ready and people are able to actually see progress. Um, that route, in my opinion, would have multitude times more chance of passing. Um, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
I'm not
will.
saying that you shouldn't tap into the community pool. I think Dex aggregator is needed and
Dex
derivatives.
aggregator,
Yeah.
is not needed, right?
Personally, I
But
think
you,
it's needed because right now there's fragmented liquidity between our V3 and V2 exchanges. So I would personally like to see it, but
yeah, because I do think that
yeah.
Dex aggregator is needed because the V2 and V3 has some different route, and the liquidity is quite different, and with Dex aggregator you can like split the same partial of
Right,
the
right,
trade to different pools, so
right.
trader will be get better
Right. So
price.
I think we all agree that, it's something we would like to see, but I'm just trying to help you navigate, the best route possible into, the highest chance of success, I guess, in funding and
Okay.
yeah,
I will.
community
Absolutely.
trust.
Okay, I will discuss with devs, but they say the payout for the from the encode is quite long, and yeah, they want something quick to start with. So
Sure.
that's why
Well,
I didn't want to go to the encode, and I stick with the community pool. But I do think the risk to the risk to the community is really minimal, because 10 to 15% is the maximum before, if there is a scam or something that if you think we are scam, right?
I mean, regardless of that, it's just good practice, to
Yeah, I understand.
be protective, and
just due diligence.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
But
due
I
diligence,
think
but
we're
I can't. Yeah, you first.
okay. Yeah, I think we're kind of over time here. But thanks for coming on and speaking. I think
Yeah.
the discussions about your proposal will be ongoing for some more time. So can definitely have you on again next week to um, talk about any changes that are made, or other community feedback.
Okay.
And also, there's for Encode, I'm not sure if you've looked at some of their documents, but on the Evmos Discord, there's a grants channel that has links to some of their information. Also, their Twitter has information about their second round, which includes like dates and amounts and a lot of the details that would be pretty relevant to you if in your project, if you're going to consider going that route. So definitely check that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and don't hesitate to contact us, reach out to us. We'll try to help you out as much as possible.
Yeah, I
'Cause
did want to contact you guys, but I don't see any channel that I can like.
I'll message
to-
you our Telegram.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
this is the first governance council held in Twitter, and it seemed like it worked out pretty good. Would love to get feedback from anybody. If you like this medium more than Discord, I think it worked okay. Get better every week. So thanks everyone for joining, the different speakers who came on, the folks who asked questions, and we will talk to everyone later. Have a good one.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Okay. Bye bye.